All right, so as you can see, this is a young kid, skeletally immature, with a fracture through the femur. Now that's the most obvious finding, but there is something else going on here, and that is this. Notice this lytic lesion. It's got a sclerotic border. It's somewhere between the metaphysis and diaphysis. And I can tell you, any radiologist will tell you that this is a benign lesion. So here's a very low power view of the lesion. There's clearly lamellar bone right there. And if you, any field will tell you that this is a lesion that is rich in osteoclast type giant cells. There's a lot of spindle-shaped cells. The spindle-shaped cells don't quite match or aren't quite like the nuclei of the osteoclast-type giant cells. The osteoclast-type giant cells are also not evenly distributed, so you see a cluster here, and then there are foci here with very few osteoclast-type giant cells. If you take a closer look at the osteoclast-type giant cells, they're not as large as you would typically see in a giant cell tumor of the bone. But I will emphasize again that the background mononuclear cells don't look round and plump. Instead, they're looking rather spindled. There are other areas where you see clusters of osteoclast-type giant cells, and these osteoclast-type giant cells are somewhat larger than I showed you in the previous view. And finally, the areas that are somewhat deprived of these giant cells have this vaguely storiform type fibrosis.